For a moment, or look. Morning, yogis. Thank you for showing up today for yourself. As we move through the practice today, be sure to listen to your body and don't do anything that hurts. Feel free to modify any of the postures that we do or stretches. Make this your practice today. So root down into the earth, move the flesh out of the way. Feel the tailbone sink down into the ground below you. Begin to lengthen your spine, feeling each vertebrae separate as your shoulders melt down your back. Take a moment here and just breathe in and out and be present for this few moments. As we breathe into our practice, perhaps we can set an intention for our practice today. That intention can be for yourself, a loved one, or the world around you. And then as we take a breath in, let's breathe in our arms up overhead, filling our heart space full of air. And then exhale, press your arms down into the ground. Inhale back up again, lengthening your heart and your spine. Then exhale, press that energy down into the earth. Let's take one more breath in. And as you exhale, hip hinge and reach out to the mat in front of you or your block or the floor and just sink your tailbone down into the earth, holding your belly muscles up and in, softening your neck, tucking your chin, and maybe even softening your shoulders. As we breathe into the small of the back, feel it open, releasing that tension. Just take a couple more breaths here. One more breath into that belly, and as you exhale, walk your hands back up. Stack up your spine. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, circle them down, pressing the palms down into the earth below you. Then inhale up again. And as we pivot over that right knee, exhale, forward fold. Reaching that left arm just a little bit longer. As you lengthen that wrist away from you, drop your left hip down into the earth. And feel that opening in that side waist. The space between your ribs and your hip. Just feel it full of breath. We'll take one more breath in. As you exhale, walk your hands back. Stack up your spine. Inhale your arms up overhead. And let's pivot over that left knee. Exhale and forward fold. This time reaching your right arm just a little bit longer. And then drop that right hip down into the earth. And just notice the side waist. Feel those ribs full of air as you drop the right hip down into the ground. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, walk your hands back up. Stack up your spine. So inhale our arms up overhead one more time. As you exhale, place your hands on your kneecaps. So we're going to do a few spinal circles. We're going to inhale our heart space forward. Exhale, draw your belly muscles in and roll down your tailbone, and then inhale forward. Creating fluidity in the base of the spine, creating warmth in the shoulders. Do one more. As you come around the front, pause right there, and then exhale, reverse. Draw your tummy muscles in, open your shoulder blades, tuck your chin, inhale forward. Do one last one. And then we'll pause right there. Let's unfold our knees and place our feet about mat width apart. Placing our hands on our knees or our shin. Let's do a few seated cat-cows by inhaling our heart space forward. Exhale, roll down your tailbone, tuck your chin and look through. And then inhale back up. And exhale back down. Two more at your breath and your pace. This is your practice. Take one more breath in. And this time as you exhale, roll all the way down to your back. Arms go out in a T. Our feet are mat width apart. And let's inhale our knees down to the right as we look left. Exhale, engage your bandhas and pull them back up again. Inhale to the left, looking right. And exhale back up. Side to side, slow and easy as we open those hip flexors, warm up that lower spine, and massage those hips against the earth. I'm going to do one more to each side. Your breath, your pace. And when you come back to center, let's just pause there for a moment. Ankles, bring those ankles into touch, knees to touch. Pick your hips up and set them back down to the earth. Lengthen the back of your chin. We're going to engage your bandhas, your belly muscles. So take a deep breath in as you drop them down to the right, looking left. And then exhale with the strength of your abdominals, draw your knees back through center. And then inhale left, looking right. Then exhale back to center. Let's do a couple more to each side, matching your movement to your breath. Noticing the little places that your body is speaking to you. Just notice, no judgment. And when you've completed both sides, we'll just pause and meet each other in the middle. And we're going to draw our knees up and in and shoot them out into tabletop. You can keep your knees in close to your chest if your back is feeling tender. If you want a little more challenge, shoot them away. Then we're going to take a deep breath in here as we drop them down to the to the right, looking left. And then exhale, draw your belly muscles back to center. Really beginning to fire up that core. Inhale to the left. And exhale, pulling back to center. Beginning to feel the strength of your body. Inhale. And then exhale, help your knees back to center with your abdominals, your bandhas. Inhale one more time. And exhale back to center. And reach down and give yourself a big hug. Stretch out your back and then lengthen to the far reaches of your mat. Stretch nice and long, toes down to the bottom, fingertips overhead. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, arms back in a T. Let's fold those legs back in. Pick your hips up and set them back down. So let's take the sole of the right foot up towards the sky. A little micro bend in that knee so you can feel the connection of the hip to the earth. And then take a look at your toes. Begin to wiggle them around, spread them apart. See if you can connect your mind with each one of those digits. And then as you wiggle your toes, circle that ankle around, warming up all the connective tissue and muscles and bones and joints of the feet. And then we'll pause and reverse that circle the opposite direction. Noticing how the shin and calf muscles are affected by the flexion and extension of the foot. Then we're going to pause right there and lengthen that leg a little longer as we warm up the hip joint by inhaling our toes towards our face. Exhale, circle long and around down to the bottom of your mat and inhale back up. Let's do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Breath in. Exhale back up. Our very last one. If you've lost count, that's okay. Come back to the center and pause right there. Let's reverse that circle by inhaling the heel down to the bottom of your mat, leg nice and long. Exhale, engage your bandhas and lift that leg back to center. And let's complete 3 more. And then completing our last circle, we're going to pause and meet each other at top. Take a moment here, micro bend that knee, and then shoot that heel to the sky. You can use your strap here on the bottom of your foot. Grab the back of your leg, your calf, or reach through to your toes, whatever you have access to. As we settle in here, draw that leg closer to your body and breathe out. Think softening the back of the leg. Take a deep breath into that hamstring muscle. Toes are flexed towards our kneecap. Breathing into the back of the leg. Then we're going to take one more breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to slide our left foot down to the bottom of the mat. And just notice the difference, the distance between both heels, reaching in opposite directions. Breathe out and bring that leg a little closer, or just simply soften for a moment. Just take a breath or two longer here. I'm going to take one more breath in. As you exhale, draw in that left heel, place the sole of the foot on the ground, and drop open the right leg to the right side. You can leave your foot on the ground and just open that knee, or draw it up and in, and then open that inner thigh stretch. Nice big stretch here. As we settle into this posture, just notice, are you listing over to the right a little bit, perhaps? Press out on that left side. Drawing a breath in up through that pelvic floor. As you exhale, engage your bandhas, pull your belly muscles in to support that lower back. Just a couple more breaths here for this inner thigh stretch. And take one more breath in. As we exhale, let's draw those thighs back together. Slide that left foot down to the bottom of your mat and let your leg drift over to the left. Stretching that outer thigh. Foot is still flexed, toes towards our kneecap. Drawing that right hip back down into the earth. Keeping the left foot active on the floor so you don't roll over. And just feel that stretch on the outside of the ankle, the outside of the knee, the hip as it sinks down into the earth. Let's take one more breath here. Fill that belly full, and as you exhale, return that foot back to center. Let's bend both knees, placing the left heel by your bottom, the right ankle across that left thigh. Toes are flexed to protect our kneecap, and gently press out on that right thigh. As you take a deep breath in here, you can feel that connection of the hip and the leg where they meet. You can massage that area if you choose. Drawing breath into that right hip. And as you exhale, reach through that opening you created. Grab your thigh, your shin, or your strap. Or just simply press out on that right thigh. You can stay where you are. Listen to your body today. Just keep our feet flexed. And then we're going to draw air into that right hip joint. And as you exhale, see if you can soften. Gently pressing out on the right thigh. Just a breath or two more. If you're looking for a little more, you can draw in that left knee. Exhale, press out on that right thigh. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, return that left sole of the foot to the floor. Cross your knees over nice and snug. Arms are back in a T. And just let your legs roll over to the left, looking right. And take just a moment here as you settle into the floor. Feeling that big sacral stretch, that sacrum open. Adjust your shoulders. This is a great time to do a little body scan. Just soften and melt down into the earth. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, draw your knees back through center. And let them drift all the way over to the right. Looking left. using the weight of the right leg on the top of the left, just to nudge it gently towards the floor. Take your gaze over to the left. And take just a moment here as you soften down into the earth, feeling the opening of the left side. Let's take one more breath in. As we exhale, return those knees back to center, untangle your legs, and stretch your arms out nice and long. To the top of your mat, toes to the bottom. Feel that opening. And let's put our arms back in a T, bend those knees again, place the soles of the feet on the earth, pick your hips up and set them down. And this time, let's shoot the sole of the left foot up to the sky. Little soft bend in that knee so you can feel that left hip sink into the earth. And then take your attention towards your toes and begin to wiggle them around. Spread them apart. Connect with each digit and then begin to circle that ankle as we warm up the ankle joint, the sole of the foot, the toes. And then pause and reverse that circle as we warm up the calf muscles, the shin muscles, the connection to the knee joint. And then we're going to pause right there with our arms out in a T. Let's open up that hip by inhaling the toes towards your face. Exhale, engage your bandhas. Lift that pelvic floor as you circle around and inhale back up again. Let's complete 3 more at your breath and your pace. Lengthening that leg nice and long. And when you've completed all of your circles, let's pause and meet each other at the top. And take just a moment to settle in, and then we're going to reverse that circle, inhaling the heel down towards the mat, leg nice and long. Reach around that circle, back to the top. Engaging your bandhas to help lift that leg up as we warm up that hip joint. Let's do one more circle. And then we're going to pause the top for just a moment. Micro bend that knee again, sink that hip into the earth, and then shoot the sole of the foot, the heel to the sky, toes pointing towards our kneecaps. You can grab the back of your thigh, your calf, reach through to your toes or use your strap, whichever you have access to. It feels good for you today. Our bodies are so different day to day. Listen in, see what it means. As we draw breath into the back of the hamstring, just see if you can bring it a little closer to your body. Opening the back of the knee, drawing the left hip into the floor as the heel reaches to the sky and the toes come towards the kneecap. Take a deep breath into this hamstring and soften just for a moment longer. And take one more breath in. As you exhale, slide your right foot down to the bottom of your mat. Flex that foot. Find that heel and then connect that heel the opposite directions to the other heel. Feel the distance between the two. Keeping the right leg engaged as we focus on the hamstring of the left leg. And soften just for a moment. Then we're going to take one more breath in. As you exhale, draw in that right foot. Place the sole of the foot on the floor and let that left leg drift open as we open the right knee. You can keep the foot on the floor or bring it up and in. Take a deep breath in as we open those inner thighs. Noticing the pressure points of the hip bones on the floor. Are they even? Are they equal? Do you need a little more pressure on the right or lengthen the left leg a little more? As you settle in, draw breath in through that pelvic floor. Exhale, pull your bandhas in, draw in your belly muscles. Support that lower back. Just a breath or two here for that inner thigh stretch. And then take one more breath in. As you exhale, draw your thighs back together. Slide your right leg down to the bottom of your mat. Engage that quad. As you drift that left leg across the center line, you can use your strap, hand on the outside of the thigh. Our toes are pointing towards our kneecap, foot is flexed. And then draw that left hip back down into the earth as you reach across diagonally through the sky. Just a couple breaths to settle in. And one more breath here. Draw in the breath in through the lower belly. As you exhale, use your bandhas and bring that foot back to center. Let's bend both knees, bringing that right heel close to your bottom. Left heel goes across this right thigh, and then gently press out on that left thigh. You can reach down and massage where the leg connects the hip. And just gently press out. Drawing breath into that hip joint. And as you exhale, draw in that right knee, reaching through that opening you've created. You can grab your strap, your thigh, or your shin. Just flex your feet so your kneecaps remain open. As you gently press out on that left thigh, feeling that wonderful stretch in the back of the left hip on that outside edge. Breathe air into that space. See if you can let something go, something soften. Enjoy that opening. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, return that right sole of the foot to the ground. Arms go back in a T, knees go nice and snug. And this time we're going to let our legs drop down to the right as we look left for that big SI joint stretch. You may need to adjust your right shoulder, soften your ankles, soften your belly. Just melt down into the earth. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, draw your knees back through the center and let them drift all the way over to the left as you look right. Using the weight of the left leg on top of the right thigh, just to gently nudge it down. No pressure, just softening. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Relax your ankles. And then draw a breath into that lower belly, and with the strength of your abdominals, exhale. Draw those knees back to center, untangle them, and reach them to the far reaches of your mat. With your arms up overhead. Big stretch again. And then you can tuck or roll to the side and come all the way up to hands and knees. So let's stack our knees underneath our hips, our wrists underneath our hands, and do a few cat-cows here. So we're going to take a deep breath into the belly, and as you exhale, draw your belly muscles up. Let your tailbone drip down, your head drip off your shoulders. And then inhale down to open the belly. Stretch the heart space across the room, lift the head and tailbone. Exhale, draw those belly muscles up and in. Inhale down into your cow. Exhale up into your cat. Let's just do 2 more at your breath and your pace. And as you complete your last one, exhale back, toes to touch, knees nice and wide into your extended child's pose. Just rest there for a moment. And then take a deep breath in. As you exhale, come back up to your hands and knees. And we're going to do just a little spinal balance. So we're going to extend that right leg and engage that glute and lift that leg to where it's straight out from your body. And then take another breath in. As you exhale, float that left arm out. We're thinking long rather than high. Taking a deep breath here. And as you exhale, return that back down again. Extend that left leg, toes to touch, and then engage your glute to lift that leg. And then float that right arm out, nice and long, looking straight down at the floor to protect your neck, to lengthen your spine. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, float that arm and leg back down again. And let's just wiggle those hips side to side for a moment. All right, so one more time, right leg back, toes to touch, engage the glute, lift it up, nice and parallel with the floor, drop that right hip down, float that left arm out, take a deep breath in, and then reach behind with your arm and fold your foot in. You can stay here for a moment, or you can reach through and grab that foot. If you're looking for a little bit more, go ahead and open your heart to the side by pressing your foot into your hand. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, come back through that extension and settle it back down to the earth. Let's set back into our child's pose just for a moment. Coming back up to our hands and knees. This time extend the left foot out, toes to touch, engage your glute, lift that leg parallel with the floor. Float that right arm out. Then take that right arm behind your back and fold that foot towards your bottom. You can stay right here in this spinal balance. If you're looking for a little more, reach through and grab that foot. You want to go a little further, press the foot into the hand and peel yourself open, chest to the side. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, release that. Go back through your extension, down to the floor and back into your child's pose one more time. Let's take a breath here. And as you exhale, let's come back up. Tuck our toes under for our first downward facing dog. We're going to take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to float our hips up towards the sky. And then begin to walk your dog. Bending one knee generously, pressing the other heel towards the earth. Warming up those ankle joints, moving our hips up towards the sky and away from the floor. Then come up on both sets of toes. As you exhale, generously bend your knees, press your hips backward and up. Pressing our chest towards our thighs. Take a few breaths here. One more breath, and as you exhale, walk your feet towards your hands and pause there just for a moment. Forward bend, stretch out that back. With our knees bent, gently inhale, rise up. Hands up overhead, hands to heart center. So let's do a half sun salutation. Placing our hands to our heart center, rock back and forth until you can find the center of your feet, the big toe joint, the little toe joint in our heel. Our inner thighs are activated, our pelvic floor is lifted, our shoulders are relaxed down. And let's inhale our arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down to the bottom. Sorry, my dog's in the way. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive all the way back up. Hands to heart center. Then take a deep breath in. Slight back bend here. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse one dive all the way back up to the top. Inhale to heart center. One more breath. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees. Let's come all the way back to the center. So let's go ahead and practice our tree. So we're going to settle ourselves in. Root down into the earth. Lengthen your spine. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Inner thighs are pressing through to the front. Hands to heart center. We're going to shift our weight to the left. And then release that right leg and turn it out. You can stay right here for your tree, or you can draw it up the thigh. Pressing out on that right knee, feeling that diagonal pull from the right knee to the left shoulder. Find your drishti, your focal point. You can grow your tree here, or stay where you are. And exhale, release it back down. And then just shake it out for a moment. So ground yourself again. Feel your root. Feel the trunk nice and strong. Hands to heart center. We're going to shift our weight to the right, releasing that left leg. Turn that knee open. Just pause here for a moment. If you choose, you can lift that leg, pressing open on that thigh. Take a deep breath in. You can stay there or grow your tree. And come back to center and release. And just shake it out for a moment. I'm gonna see if I can move my dog here. Todd, come over here. Over here. Again. Again. Sorry about that. All right, let's see if he stays over there. All right, so let's walk through our warriors. So we're gonna inhale and step back to warrior one. Left leg back. Arms are up. Toes are pointing forward. You can just put your arms straight up, or you can clasp them together. And then lift your heart space. Take a deep breath in. Drop down into that front knee a little more. Staying on your heel to protect that knee joint. Take a deep breath here. And then as you exhale, rise up into your warrior two. So we're in our warrior two, we're looking beyond our fingertips into our drishti, our focal point just beyond that fingertip. Left toes are pointing slightly in. Going to take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, reverse that palm. Inhale, open it up for reverse warrior. And exhale back to center. Look beyond those fingertips. Inhale, you can either slide your hand down your leg or place it behind your back. One more time, inhale. Exhale back to center. We're gonna go ahead and shift all the way into our side angle, lifting that left arm up and open and then over the head. So it's a straight line from the wrist to the back ankle. You can place your elbow on your thigh or on the inside. Take a deep breath in and peel that chest open. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, circle that arm down to the ground. Find your floor, shift your back foot forward. Now we're in our pyramid pose. Take a deep breath in and draw that right hip back nice and long. Feel that stretch in the hamstring. Let that crown of the head fall forward. You can stay here, or you can do a half bind by placing one hand behind, or a full bind, both hands behind. If you're looking for a little more, clasp your hands together and shoot them up to the sky and drop down inside that left thigh. Take a deep breath here. One more breath. Exhale, release your bind, find the floor. Bend that front foot and step yourself forward. Curl yourself all the way back up again. So let's repeat that on the opposite side. So root down into the earth. Feel your grounding. Step back with that right leg, arms up overhead into warrior one. Big stretch on that hip flexor. Reach up. Sink in a little longer. Feel your strength. Lift that heart space. There's a slight back bend here. And then breathe in as you reach up, shifting into your warrior two. Soften those shoulders down. Look beyond your fingertips. Sink down into it. Enjoy the strength of this warrior. Let's reverse that palm. Inhale to reverse warrior. Exhale back down to your warrior. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale back down. Let's do one more time. And then shift yourself into your side angle. Keeping that left knee open nice and long. Right arm goes straight up by the ear. Keep your head straight ahead. If you're looking for a little more, you can open the heart space, the sideways to the sky. Take a deep breath here and feel the strength. One more breath leading up with the right arm. Circle it around, down to the ground. Find your floor. Shift your back foot to face forward. Then begin to straighten that left leg. Let the crown of the head fall down. Big breath here as we settle into our pyramid pose. You can stay here in pyramid or do a half bind or find your full bind. Listen to your body, keeping that left leg straight. Take a deep breath in. If you're looking for more, raise those arms up towards the sky and fall inside that left thigh. Breath or two here to center. One more breath in. As we exhale, release the bind. Find the floor, bend the knee, and then gently step forward. Pause for a moment before you roll back up again. And let's make our way down to the floor. So we're going to sit here in our 90-90 for a moment, just with our left leg in front and our right leg out to the side. We're going to take our left hand and place it on the floor and take the weight off the right hip. So we're going to roll our hip open. We'll take a deep breath here as we open the hip and then set our bottom back down to the ground. See if you can roll through that ball and socket joint a few times. Inhale, open. Exhale, set it back down. One more breath. As we open, shift your hands to the front. Release that back tail feather and reach it long behind you. You can always place a block under that left hip so that we're not sitting right on top of our kneecap. I'm going to take a deep breath here as we lift our heart space up, pulling our tummy muscles in to protect our back. Lengthen that tail feather behind you as far as you can. And then exhale, forward fold into sleeping pigeon on the floor. Take a deep breath here. And listen to your body. Look for those spaces that need opening or softening, or maybe even a challenge. Take a moment. And take one more breath in. As you exhale, walk your hands back up again. And let's shift that out. So we'll turn, sit 90-90 on the right side. So our right shin is parallel to our body. Our left leg is out and open. And then we're going to roll through that joint. Take a breath in as you open that hip flexor. Exhale, set your bottom back down on the floor. Inhale and open. Exhale, set it back down. Just take one more breath in. And as you exhale, shift your hands forward and slide that back leg out behind you. Nice and long, so you get that good hip flexor stretch. Lift the heart space up. Take a deep breath in, then exhale. Melt down over that into your sleeping pigeon. Wiggle around in here until you find those spaces where you can breathe in and let go. Just a couple more breaths. Just take one more breath in, and as you exhale, walk your hands back. Come off of that leg. Let's sit in Dandasana. So with our Dandasana, we're going to move that flesh out from underneath. Our legs are straight. If you need to do a slight bend to sit up tall, please do so. And then keep those toes pointed towards your kneecap. Sitting nice and tall here. Take a deep breath in. Then we're going to exhale. We're going to forward fold and round forward. Stretching out the low back. Just melt down in. And then inhale back up again. This time we're going to place our hands behind our bottom. Fingertips are tucked underneath your cheeks a little bit on the outside edge. Palms on the floor, and then we're going to lift our heart space, pressing through our arms. Shoulders roll back. Just lengthen the vertebrae of the spine. And then exhale, forward fold, just roll forward again. Take one more breath, and as you exhale, let's roll all the way back. So we're going to go down to our back. If you have a block, bring it close to you. I don't have mine with me today, so I'm going to pretend. And then I want you to bring your heels close to your bottom. Reach down and see if you can feel your fingertips, can feel your heels. Our feet are just an inch or two apart. Big toes slightly touching. And then we're going to take a deep breath in and tuck our shoulders underneath. Lengthen the cervical vertebrae by tucking our chin. Then take a breath into that lower belly, and as you exhale, press those hips up towards the sky, pressing palms into the earth. Shoulder blades are activated, heart is open, hip flexors are open. And exhale, lower yourself back down again. And then when you're ready, we're going to take a deep breath into that lower belly. And you're going to exhale, you're going to press those hips way up into the sky. Pause here for a moment. Slide your block underneath your hips and then settle your hips down on top of it. Place that sacrum, that triangular bone right there on the blocks. Then take a breath in, heel, knee comes in, heel to the sky. Left knee comes in, bottom of the foot to the sky. So let's just rest here and legs up the imaginary wall. Allowing our blood and lymph circulation to flow differently against gravity. Calming our mind, calming our body. Just a couple more breaths. And then with a breath in, we're going to exhale, bend that right knee, place the sole of the foot on the ground. And then bend the left knee and draw it towards your left armpit. Extend your right leg down to the bottom of your mat for that big psoas stretch on the right side. And take a few breaths here. Allow the body to melt down, to soften. I'm going to take a breath in. As you exhale, draw in the right sole of the foot, place it on the earth. Release that left foot down to the earth. Draw the right knee in towards the right armpit and lengthen that left leg down to the bottom of your mat or alongside your puppy. And let's just let that left psoas and hip flexor open up. Take one more breath in. And as you exhale, bend that right knee, that left foot, sole of the foot on the earth, and release that right leg down to the ground. Hands alongside your body, and then we're going to do one more beautiful bridge to bring us off the block. Take a breath in that lower belly. As you exhale, press those hips up into the sky. Roll those shoulder blades underneath. Remove your block and set it to the side, and then slowly lower yourself down to the earth. Draw your knees up and in. And let's just rock side to side to massage out that back. And then we'll settle right in there. Let's place the palms of our hands on our kneecap for a few spirals. We're going to start small. And we're just going to ride that pelvic rim around as that spiral grows larger and larger. So it takes your shoulders along with it. And then pause and reverse that spiral, going from large to small. Back down to that place you started from. And let's just pause there for a moment and enjoy that energy. And then reach out and give yourself a great big hug, a big squeeze. Squeeze your toes, squeeze your thighs together, squeeze your bottom, squeeze your face, your fist. And then exhale down into your final Shavasana, whatever that may look like for you. As you settle into your Shavasana, take one more time to tuck your shoulder blades back and lift your heart space. Let your ankles fall open. And take a moment here to find your breath. Maybe return to your intention. And to just be quiet for a moment. As we settle into our stillness, we begin to notice our breath moving in and out, swirling around us. We'll breathe into the soles of our feet and feel that breath wrap around our calves, and exhale out the back of the knees. We're going to breathe into the front of the knee as it wraps around our thighs, and exhale out our hips. We're going to breathe into our lower belly and feel that breath move into our rib cage and expand. And exhale out and soften our heart. A breath into our throat chakra. Fill it full, the place we speak from. Exhale and release the tension in your shoulders. A breath in through the nose, up into the third eye, the pineal gland, the center of your forehead. And exhale radiant, beautiful energy into the earth around you. Just enjoy the peace for a moment. And then let's gently roll to our right side, drawing our knees up and in, using our right arm for a pillow. Rest there for a moment. And then place your left hand on the earth beside you. Find the strength of that around you and gently rise up. Just place our hands behind our back in a mudra to seal our practice today. Inhale that heart space one more time. And as we exhale, forward fold. Inhale and rise up. Namaste. Peace be with you.